Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger, and welcome back to the stage of history. So SoulCalibur VI has just launched, and in this video you will find 7 essential tips to get started with competitive SoulCalibur VI. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. So tip number 1 has to do with the lethal hit system. So the lethal hit system is a brand new system to SoulCalibur VI, and if you played other fighting games, you might think, oh, isn't it like crush counter or fatal counter? It's based off counter hits? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. So let's have a quick look here. So we have the enemy repeating this one move here. Let's see what happens with Astaroth when we hit him. Oh, we got a big old cinematic, meaning we can definitely go for a high power move. So was that because we hit them in counter hit? No. So every single character in the game here, you can go into their move list. And in the move list here, we have these little tabs we can look through. And one of these tabs will be the lethal hit tab. So you can see right here. So the move we used here is the Hades Cannon. And it says here, the Hades Cannon, as you can see right below here, it says, triggers upon hitting an opponent who missed a light attack. Now you can see here, there are some attacks here that say M, some that say H. For Astaroth, it's going to be mostly like big attacks. There's also a category that says L, so each move is branded as L, M, or H, light, medium, or heavy. So this one happens when you miss a light attack. But there's all sorts of styles of move here. So we have another one here, Body Splash. So it says triggers upon hit after a successful revenge attack. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So the move said forward and hold B and K. You just tap it, you're going to get this. And if you hold it, you get this version right here. But by itself, it had no lethal hit. Now, it did mention that revenge property. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set the enemy to do a move. And he's just going to do this move over and over. And revenge property means basically you're armoring through it. So here we are. We're going to armor through it. There we do. And we get a little bit of a combo. So each move, once again, if you go into your move list, has its own criteria for the lethal hit property. Like Astaroth has a move here. The Minotaur Crush. This only triggers if he wins the last round by ring out. And then for the rest of the whole round, the head of it, it's going to lethal hit every single time. But only if you get a ring out victory. This one right here only works if they have a full soul gauge, a full super bar. So once again, go to your character of choices move list here. And look at this lethal hit tab, because everyone's lethal hits are going to be triggered by specific criteria. It's not just counter hit like basically every other fighting game with a similar style of move where you can get your big hit and then get your combo. Everyone has specific criterias, so please check your character and see how theirs works. So for our second tip here, we're going to be talking about color coding. So all sorts of attacks in this game have all sorts of cool color trails, all that kind of stuff, and it's usually character to character. Ivy's going to be a little more purple themed, while say Taki might be a different color, or Killer might be a different color. But there are a couple of universals here, and I mostly want to talk about blue and red. So red, you won't need this video to figure it out on your own real quick. Red equal dead. If you see a lot of fire, you see a lot of red flames here, you best get out of the way of that move, or somehow avoid it, because red attacks here, the flame color coding, are unblockable, and if it happens to be on top of a throw, it's untechable. So almost every single unblockable attack in this game is usually fairly slow and has one really obvious way to beat it. Like this one right here, the one we were doing, it is very, very easily crouched. You can just crouch and you won't ever get hit by it, right? And then you can punish the foe after they miss. There's always usually a way around an unblockable attack, but just keep in mind that if you see red, you cannot block and you cannot defend yourself in any way, shape, or form. Now, the other one's a little more tricky and a little more nuanced. So we have here blue. So everyone, for the most part, A and B together is going to be, you see this blue electric lightning attack. And what this attack is what we call the break attack. So if it hits, hey, awesome, it hit, whatever, right? But the purpose of the break attack is when it hits and the enemy blocks, the enemy, as you can see here, the guard gets blown back quite a bit, much more than, say, any regular hit. So after you block a break attack, the blue lightning style moves, it is the aggressor's turn still. They have the advantage. The advantage is on their side, as they will be able to move first before the person who just blocked the break attack. Now, there's nothing guaranteed about this situation, nothing at all, just so you know. However, once again, the initiative belongs on the person who performed this attack. Generally, for the most part speaking, after any given attack, doesn't matter what the attack is, the attacker, if the attack is blocked, will be very slightly disadvantaged or negative on block. Meaning, if you want to look at it as just a pure turn situation, they have lost their turn. So, if you manage to hit this foe with your break attack, it is basically, for all intents and purposes, still your turn. Meaning, if, say, you both just smash on the A button directly afterwards, the person who did the break attack will hit first. They have the advantage, so it's a good way to hit the foe and still maintain your pressure, because if they try to hit any buttons, they're going to get hit back. And once again, this is universal through all the characters. All characters in the game have access to at least one break attack, and for the most part, most characters A plus B together will be a break attack, and a lot of characters have more break attacks than just those. So once again, just in summation, blue lightning on block means you don't get to go. If you blocked a blue lightning strike, you are still at disadvantage. Not to say, you know, it's never your turn, so if, say, the person does this and does a huge wind-up attack like this, yeah, you can still smack them out of it, right? But you just got to keep in mind that you are at disadvantage when you block a break attack. For tip number 3, before we leave break attacks, the one thing to note about break attacks is they will always beat reversal edges and guard impact moves. So you cannot guard impact, which is the parry, or reversal edge, which is a universal armored mechanic, break attack, as it will always lose, as you can see here. So it doesn't really matter how much you've holden your reversal edge. It doesn't really matter how much you use your guard impact. As you can see here, the break attack will always win. This is by design, also true for unblockables. So the break attack is also a tool to get past these two very strong defensive features. For our 4th tip, we're going to talk about the guard gauge. Now you might ask, well, where's the guard gauge? I don't really see it. I see my life bar and I see the supers, and where's the guard gauge? Well, the guard gauge is your life bar. So if you keep blocking over time, you might notice, hey, that guard gauge, aka the life bar, is going to change color. So right now the color has changed to yellow, which means you are in a danger state. So you are not yet going to have your guard broken, but you are getting close to it, and the more you successfully block from that point, as you know, you keep blocking hits here, as you see, it's going to turn red, and red is basically you're an imminent threat. Maybe the next hit exactly won't break your guard, but a couple more hits and your guard is going to get broken. What happens when your guard gets broken? Well, you're basically in combo town, as you are not in any way, shape, or form able to defend yourself against the next incoming hit. Meaning the opponent basically has a free combo against you. So there's not much you can do to avoid this state other than stop blocking and then start hitting your foe. This is basically a penalty for being a bit overly defensive. So keep in mind your life bar, and if you can see it flashing yellow, it's basically a good indicator of, hey, you need to start really getting on the offense. And if it's flashing red, you really need to do something quick to fix the state you're in. And conversely, watch the enemy's life bar, because if they are in the red state, they're very close to getting guard broke, and one hit might turn into the game-winning combo. So just look at those life bars and see where the state is and keep it in mind. For our 5th tip, we're going to talk about perfect guard, and thankfully it's not too tricky, as all you have to do is hit the guard button. That's all there is to it. So what is perfect guard? Perfect guard is simply the act of hitting the guard button right before an attack hits. So if you're already holding guard and you get hit by the attack, then you still get the guard, and that's all well and good. But the perfect guard serves 2 purposes. First of all, it will gain you a little bit of meter when you successfully pull off this maneuver, and also if the move does chip damage, the move that you just guarded, it will actually negate the chip, so there'll be no chip damage done. So I have an example here. We're going to use Taki. So Taki, during this specific attack string, as you see here, she's constantly doing chip damage during this attack string. And we're just kind of losing a lot of life here, so we can't keep, guarding this forever. So what we're going to do here, there's a bit of a gap in it, so we're going to block the first one, then perfect guard the second hits. Now, as you can see here, we did not take any chip damage. And also, if you look at our guard gauge, we are very slightly gaining just a little bit of bar. So these are the advantages here. We negate the chip damage that is coming towards us, and we do gain a little bit of bar. So that is quite handy. Our sixth tip is for air control. Now, air control determines a lot of what makes combos possible or not possible in this game. So let's use our sick combo example here. So we're going to launch the foe, and then we're going to do a bit of a combo. So look at that. That's our awesome combo, right? 6 hits, that's great. But the problem is with air control, that combo is not real. So what is air control? Air control is after, hey, you're knocked in the air, you have control over what direction you fall in. So thankfully enough, the training mode lets us simulate these settings here. So you can air control forward, forward right, back right, basically any of the 8 directions. So say we air control just to the right. What's going to happen to our combo we just tried? What's going to happen there? Oh, the combo we just did doesn't even work with air control. So if we air control to the right or left, or any direction really, that combo is just not possible. The only way that combo we just did would be possible is if they just stood perfectly still and didn't try to fight back at all. So air controlling is a very, very big deal. And air control can save you from a ring out. It can save you from a potential wall splat and a wall combo. So please keep in mind that you have some control over your character even while you're being comboed. So for your benefit, please move into a direction that's beneficial for you. At least, work your way around the stage, to get out of a bad position or whatever. But just don't let the enemy get away with a lot of stuff that normally wouldn't be possible. And once again, if you're in training mode yourself, make sure you have at least some kind of air control turned on, or at least keep it in mind, because your fancy combo you tried out might not work against someone holding any direction. So it is a pretty big factor to keep in mind. So for our 7th and final tip, we are going to talk about how to break throws. So throws in this game, hey, everyone's got them, right? So the thing about throws is, in this game, it's been kind of changed from how it has been in previous Soul Caliburs. So throws are always going to be tied, generally speaking, to hitting A and guard at the same time, and various amount of directions depending on the move. So, throws are cool and all. You can get cool backbreakers, you can toss the enemy around, straight up dunk on them, all sorts of things depending on the character you have. But all throws, for the most part, with very, very few exceptions, are breakable, pretty much no matter what. And throw breaks are fairly simple in this game, and they're less of a reactionary test, although, you can't be asleep at the wheel. You have to know what's happening, right? And more of a knowledge-based test on what the enemy is doing. So the 2 ways to break throws are quite simple. One is you hit literally any of your 4 buttons, A, B, K, or guard, and any direction but back, and it'll take care of forward throws. So what is a forward throw? A forward throw is any throw either ending in the forward movement here. So say this backbreaker throw here, it ends in forward, so it would be a forward throw. A neutral throw, meaning no direction, is also a forward throw. And we also have what we call back throws. So that is any throw that hits back, and the throw, or any command throw that ends in the back direction. That would also be a back throw. So for all throws that are not back throws, all you have to do is hit any direction and any button. So just as an example here, so we have Yoshimitsu set here just to do his basic throw, and if we wander in, we're going to get chucked, right? So as we get grabbed here, all I'm doing is hitting a button. Here's an A break, here's a B break, here's a K break. So you can't break with the guard throw button, just so you know. So I guess I was a little wrong saying any button. It has to be A, B, or K. Any attacking button, that would be. And yeah, so I can hit any direction while I'm doing it. I can here's up, here's down. As long as it's basically anything but a back direction. So now, if I'm hitting a back direction, I'm not going to be able to attack no matter what button I press. I cannot attack. So that is the forward throw. So once again, all forward throws are either you just throw, no direction, or any throw ending in forward. And it can have a motion in front of it, doesn't really matter, as long as it ends in forward. Now, the difference between a back throw and a regular throw is for a lot of characters, but not all characters, the back throw will switch sides with the enemy. So, say we're near the corner here. If I did that throw, I would now switch sides with the foe, and now he would be in the corner. And for some characters, the back throw could actually not only switch sides, it could potentially ring out in a backward situation, making them extra scary. Now, not every character is going to switch sides with the back throw, but that's generally the idea. And now this also applies to all sorts of throws here. So we have here Astaroth, and we have Astaroth for a reason. So we're going to set the photo crouch here. So here is a neutral throw. That's a crouching throw. So I'm hitting down to do this. So you still break this with A, B, or K in any direction that's not a back. So that breaks the throw just the same here. Now if we hit down and back, that is a back throw. So as you can see here, we're switching positions. So the enemy will have to hit back and one of the 3 attack buttons attack that. So once again here, it's just simply more of a knowledge test. Like, this is a forward throw for Astaroth. Now as you can see here, it does 65 damage. Now if we do this, we got 74 damage. That's almost 10 more damage. That was the back throw. So in this situation, generally speaking, Astaroth's back throw is much scarier. It'll do more damage than his forward throw. So if you are fighting Astaroth, you generally want to do the backwards tech. You won't be able to tell which grab it is first, because as you see here, the grab, it looks the same either way. You can't tell. But generally speaking, Astaroth will get more damage from his back throw. So you want to be, generally speaking, teching backwards against him before you can kind of get onto the enemy's rhythm. So character to character, basis by basis, the real knowledge of the tech of the throw is simply what the enemy's better option is at the time. Maybe it's a more damaging throw, maybe it's a position switching throw, maybe it's a throw that's going to lead to a ring out. So depending on what the enemy has available to them, you should be teching the throw in generally the direction that is their most advantageous one, so you can cancel it out. And if you guess wrong, well then hey, I guess they did the least advantageous throw, so even though that's still going to hurt, then you know, you avoid that situation. Once again, of course, that's the mind game, but yeah. So once again, I guess I'm a little verbose here. So teching throws, any throw ending with forward or neutral, you literally can hit A, B, or K, it doesn't really matter, and any direction that's not back, and you'll easily tech the throw. And any throw that either starts with back or ends in a motion that is back and throw, you just simply defeat by hitting back and A, B, or K, and you tech that throw. And for a quick final bonus tip, in case you've been wondering how I've been resetting nonstop like this, all you have to do is hit L1 and R1 together, and you'll reset the stage in training mode quite easily. So anyways, that is it for this video. So I hope any of these tips really helped you out. Soul Calibur is a great, fantastic franchise, and I love it dearly. And I know a lot of folks either never played a Soul Calibur game before or are lapsed fans and haven't played a Soul Calibur game in a very long time. So hopefully the contents of this video helped you out in that regard. Anyways, that is it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Soul Calibur.